So I've been using the Galaxy Note 9 on One UI for several days now, just about 2 or 3 days, and it's been excellent. And this is factoring to why I'm not going to be switching the Note 9 to the S10 Plus as my daily phone. In this video, I want to explain to you why I'm not going to be doing this for my main Android device. I'm going to be staying with the Note 9 for the main primary driver. Of course, I'm going to be using this to test it out, but this is where my SIM card will mostly live until the Note X or the Note 10 comes out. Let's find out why. Coming up right now, let's go. So the first reason I'm not switching is because of the display. Now, I do love the Galaxy S10 Plus's display. I love how the bezel is very thin at the top and also nice at the bottom, and Galaxy Note 9 definitely needs an upgrade there. But if they're gonna do it at the sacrifice of a hole, I mean, some people are still gonna like how the Note 9 really has no notch, no cutouts, no nothing. It's a beautiful panel here, and I am by no means saying that it's better display in terms of quality than the Galaxy S10 Plus, but I tend to prefer its more saturated look than the flatter look of this dynamic AMOLED display. Now, I like how bright this one gets. It gets a little bit brighter. It's a little bit more color accurate than the Note 9s, but for media consumption, I still really love the way the Note 9 just displays content with no cutouts, no obtrusions. It's just like having a little TV in your pocket. So I do love what the S10 brings, but for me, I'm still enjoying the display enough that the S10 Plus doesn't bring so much more that it's willing to make me just switch over and move everything over just to go on the Galaxy S10 Plus as my main driver. So I still enjoy this display, and I think if you have a Note 9 going to an S10 Plus, I've experienced the display. It's like maybe a 10 or 15% jump. It's not a massive jump in terms of display quality. So Note 9, amazing panel. Next reason is battery life. Now, the Galaxy S10 Plus actually has a little bit better battery life than the Note 9 in my experience so far, but it's not enough better to make me switch. Like if I had an S9 and I went to an S10 Plus, that's a major leap in battery performance, but the Note 9 was already a king in battery life for Samsung, so having an S10 Plus is like going to almost the same phone when it comes to battery life. So the Galaxy Note 9 still exceptional battery, and it's holding up very well over my past 7 months having this device. So battery life is strong for the Galaxy Note 9. So I hope the Galaxy Note 10 has an even bigger battery than the Galaxy S10 Plus, but both of these are the best you can get from Samsung right now when it comes to battery life. The next reason, and one you probably guessed, was the S Pen. So the S Pen is a tool that after using it and actually getting great productivity out of this tool, it's really hard to go back to a phone that does not have the S Pen. So there's plenty of Note 9 users who've been watching my S10 content. They're saying, I'll wait till the Note 10 comes out. And this is the main reason why right here. This is a huge phone here in the Galaxy S10 Plus, even about the same, if not sometimes feels bigger on the display. Doesn't feel heavier or heftier, but the display looks bigger because it has thinner bezels, but there's no pen. So it's all down to just your fingers and hands. And that's a kind of a waste to me because we have an S Pen on the Note, but it's always been this way. But still, it kind of makes you wonder, do we even need a Note and an S line, or could we just have just one major phone per year with just an S Pen included all together? But having the S Pen here for the Galaxy Note 9 is wonderful. I always use it like all the time. I'm scheduling out videos, things like that. I place it on the home screen so I don't forget things like Galaxy S10 Plus versus Note 9. I'll get this idea, I'll write it down, place a widget on the home screen, and I'll never forget it. It's really hard to go back from a phone that doesn't have this feature. So the Galaxy Note 9, excellent here when it comes to the S Pen. Also, the S Pen icons got a little bit different looking here in One UI. Some of the elements look different, as well as like the notes in the Samsung Notes looks a little bit different as well. So it's got an update, so it looks even cleaner than before when actually using this pen with its software. So excellent, I really do love it. Another reason I'm not switching from the Note 9 is I prefer having two secure methods of unlocking. One, fingerprint sensor, which I don't mind where the Note 9's placement is. A lot of people actually came to the Note 9 just because Samsung finally put it in the middle and not off to the side like they did with the Note 8. So I have no problem with this fingerprint sensor. It's pretty quick, and it also has a nice swipe down function like so. I also do like the iris scanner up here as my second unlock feature. It will show, I'm not going to do it right now because we're behind camera, but having that iris as well is a more secure method than the face unlock for the Galaxy S10 Plus. So until they remove it from the next Note, which they probably will do if they go anything similar to this S10 Plus, I'm going to enjoy the iris scanner for now on the Galaxy Note 9. Now I know some people are going to object and say, oh, that's slow iris scanner. I'm glad they got rid of that thing. You now have the fingerprint sensor under the display. It's even more secure than ever before. And that is true, but I mean, really, having two options is nice to me. So that's one reason why I'm personally not switching over to the Galaxy S10 Plus. The next reason I'm not switching from the Note 9 to the S10 Plus as the main phone is because the Note 9 has the One UI now. Now, if it never got it, I would be really upset and I would be using the S10 Plus over the Note 9 all the time. But because I have essentially the same exact software, it does basically the same stuff. Yes, we have the wireless power share here, something I'm not going to use often on my device. Still, the One UI coming to the Note 9 has made it pretty much on par with this new phone when it comes to its overall software experience. It's almost identical with a few additions to the S10 Plus. So nice stuff here for the Note 9 when it comes to software. And one of the key factors that makes me feel like I'm using an identical phone, whether I'm using the Note 9 or the S10 Plus, regardless if the design looks pretty different on the S10 Plus, still the software being the same, it's like using an iPhone 8 Plus or using an iPhone 6s. I mean, those phones are different sizes, a little bit different looking, but they do have the same software, so it's like the same experience. Similar thing going on here between these two. Next up is performance. The S10 Plus has excellent performance, very fast, but the 7nm A55 really isn't showing me anything that useful over the Note 9. Now, I could see if you're playing some graphically intensive games, both can do those well. You might get a slightly faster load time, maybe a little bit better performance in gaming, stuff like that, but I'm not the biggest gamer. I just use my phone in more of a productivity fashion, like a lot of productive features, emailing, calling, messaging, writing notes, stuff like that. More productivity based things, and really I don't really care about a 7nm and a 10nm when it comes to just your everyday productive phone use. So I have no lag here for the Galaxy Note 9, and it's been staying that way since I've had this phone, and that's really good because not all Samsung phones can say the same. So the Note 9 going to the S10 Plus, I don't see a reason to switch because the performance felt like the same thing. So I mean, yeah, it's a slightly snappier, but nothing your eyes are going to see in the day-to-day. So that's one reason. 8GB of RAM too, this being the first Samsung phone to have that, is now the standard for the S10 Plus. 12GB of RAM, not a big deal. I don't need that much RAM on a smartphone. So yes, performance, thumbs up for the Note 9, especially even smoother now on One UI, which I think a lot of people will enjoy. Now for this one, the cameras, I definitely do prefer the Galaxy S10 Plus over the Note 9, especially for that wide angle, but I don't find myself relying on my camera phone anymore too much for professional pictures. And with these phones kind of trying to do that, it's kind of like I think it's a good idea to use it as your main camera, but for me, I simply just prefer actual cameras over smartphone sensors. So to me, this is not enough of a reason for me to say, let me get off the Note 9, lose my S Pen just to have an extra wide angle lens. That's just not enough for me. Now the front facing camera for vlogging, exceptional for the S10 Plus. Amazing stabilization, as good as an action camera from what I'm seeing. And the rear too, very good stabilization. So if you're a vlogger and you're using your phone for doing that, it's excellent. But for me, I still prefer things like a Sony RX100 Mark V, something like that, or even attaching a lens off onto a camera, or even using, this camera I'm using for this video right here. I'm more of a actual camera shooter than a phone shooter. So what are your thoughts? Do you think the Note 9 is still a worthy phone? Do you think the S10 Plus is blowing it away? Do you think that you're just going to keep your Note 9? You just got an S10 Plus? You don't care? Whatever. Let me know down below in the comment section of this video. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, click the like button for me. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.